This is Engadget. Here's what's happening in the world of technology. Today is December 16th. In August, the federal government pumped the brakes on its free COVID test kit by mail service, one of the most popular programs to come out of the pandemic, over fears that the American public would deplete the national stockpile of tests before the onset of winter. On Thursday, the White House announced that it has restarted the program in cooperation with the U.S. Postal Service, though households will only receive half as many tests as before. 4 individual rapid antigen COVID-19 tests per household. We live in the single wealthiest nation in the history of the earth. When the program was initially paused, 600 million at-home tests had already been sent to American households, and given the rate of distribution, the federal government would have needed to go back to Congress for additional funding to purchase more tests. In September, the White House did just that, asking for $22.4 billion in additional funding to fight COVID. Amid mild summer and fall COVID seasons, Congress did nothing. The White House then pared down its ask to $10 billion in a supplemental funding request in November. Facing strident opposition from Republicans on the issue, Congress continues to dither. COVID cases reached their lowest in mid-October, with just 261,268 reported nationwide. That number has doubled in the past 2 months, per the CDC. Amid what is suspected may be the latest wave of the pandemic, the White House has decided that the situation is dire enough to warrant dipping back into the national test stockpile as part of its winter preparedness plan. You can order yours through the U.S. Postal Service page linked in the text version of this article. Orders will begin shipping free the week of December 19th, 2022. And Russia's Soyuz MS-22 spacecraft, currently docked at the International Space Station, ISS, began leaking coolant Wednesday evening. According to Russia's space agency Roscosmos, the instrument and assembly compartment's outer skin was damaged. Fortunately, the crew is safe, and they conducted normal operations afterward. NASA said in a blog post that the external radiator cooling loop of the Soyuz is the suspected leak source. Cosmonauts Sergei Prokopyev and Dmitry Petelin were already in their suits, preparing for a nearly 7-hour spacewalk when the crew noticed low-pressure readings. The cosmonauts postponed their walk indefinitely and weren't exposed to the coolant. Roscosmos is closely monitoring Soyuz spacecraft temperatures, which remain within acceptable limits, NASA said. NASA and Roscosmos continue to coordinate external imagery and inspection plans to aid in evaluating the external leak location. The crew plans to investigate further using the station's robotic arm. The Soyuz MS-22 spacecraft launched from Kazakhstan's Baikonur Cosmodrome on September 21st, carrying the 2 cosmonauts and NASA astronaut Frank Rubio. The Russian space agency added that a decision will be made about the cosmonauts' future aboard the ISS. A spacewalk scheduled for December 21st is postponed indefinitely as the investigation continues. Russia's war in Ukraine has complicated, to say the least, the relationship between NASA and Roscosmos. Earlier this year, Russia said it would pull out of the ISS after 2024 and focus on launching its own space station. Although removing Russia from the ISS would throw a tremendous wrench into the program, the U.S. reportedly had contingency plans even before the invasion. If you want to catch the latest tech news as it's happening, check out Engadget.com or tune in again every weekday.
SpokenLayer.